This is Religion in the News, sponsored by Wish TV, in cooperation with the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis.
Good morning, Indianapolis. Welcome to Religion in the News. I'm J.R. Ryder. Joining me today is Carol Sissom and Faith James. We have another great show for you today as our guests talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Two survivors of breast cancer will share their story, and a prostate cancer survivor joins us. Stay tuned.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. New research shows staying fit and trim could reduce your risk of the deadly disease. A recent study by the Women's Health Initiative showed women who walked just 30 minutes a day were 20% less likely to get breast cancer. A study by the American Cancer Society found women who gained up to 30 pounds after the age of 18 were 40% more likely to get the disease.
Good morning. My guest today is Dana Kurish. She's the Executive Director of the Susan G. Komen of Central Indiana. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Good. I'm glad you joined us. This is all about your organization this month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Susan G. Komen, its mission, and how you affect, of course, women all across the country.
Well, Komen was founded nationally 30 years ago on a promise between two sisters, one of whom was dying of breast cancer at age 36. So one woman started this organization, and right now it's 124 affiliates worldwide. Wow. And has raised $1.9 billion to fight breast cancer.
Unbelievable. I had no idea that it was started with two sisters and on a promise. What a mission.
Yes. And here in Indianapolis, it was started in 1992. The first race in 92, we had 2,400 participants and raised $35,000. So last year, we had 40,000 participants and raised $2.6 million.
Wow, so we have quite an impact here.
One of the largest races in the country.
Absolutely. Now, you're the Executive Director. How long have you been Executive Director? And tell us a little bit about how you personally got involved with Susan G. Komen.
Well, I have been there 7 years as Executive Director. And 7 years ago, I was looking around, and I happened to be a breast cancer survivor. At that time, I was 15 years out, and I thought, what a perfect way to get involved and do something to give back to other women. And after I became Executive Director, I actually had another bump in the road with breast cancer. I had another incident, so I've been able to see firsthand how far we've come and what Komen has done to change the face of breast cancer over the last 20 years. It's awesome.
That is awesome. What's that Hair Club for Men slogan? You know, not only are you the president, but your client.
Exactly.
So, now, for those women out there who have been diagnosed with breast cancer, what is your message specifically to those women?
Our message is to tell everyone it is not a death sentence. It is a survivable disease. You do have to go through treatment, and the treatment varies, and you need to make sure that you understand what your treatment options are. You make sure, if you want, get a second opinion, and then look for support, because you will need support as you go through your treatment, and you need support when you finish your treatment, because as breast cancer survivors know, just because they finish their treatment doesn't mean it goes out of their mind. Absolutely. They're still afraid it may come back. So. Absolutely.
And that's a good story. I know we have a couple of other ladies that will be coming on here shortly, and one of those ladies is also a breast cancer survivor, so she'll be sharing her story. We also have a gentleman. He's going to be sharing about prostate cancer. Of course, we just lost one of the greatest philanthropists and inventors, Steve Jobs, to pancreatic cancer. So many people are familiar with the peril of cancer. Now, for those who have never been diagnosed with any type of cancer, what's your message to those women?
Well, our message for breast cancer is that until we find a cure, and we're looking to find a cure, but until we find a cure, early detection is our best protection. So if everybody gets their annual mammograms, does their clinical breast exams through their doctor, an annual breast exam, an annual mammogram at age 40 or above, if everybody does that, we can find the breast cancer early. And if it's found early, it's 98% survivable.
Oh, wow.
But if people don't, and we're finding right now that over 50% of women who even have health insurance and know they need to get a mammogram are not getting them. So they're putting their life at risk.
We have some pictures that we're going to go ahead and put up. Maybe you can kind of walk us through. I know these are some of the events and fundraisers that you do as an organization. So
this is our Pink Tie Ball. It's coming up February 18th. It's a gala evening with dinner and dancing and silent auction, but most important, a survivor celebration. And that's what that is. That's a conga line of breast cancer survivors dancing to I Will Survive.
Excellent.
It's awesome.
We have another one here. Now, this perhaps is one of the largest fundraiser races in the entire nation. Race for the Cure.
It's the Race for the Cure. It's the largest single-day fundraising event in Indiana and one of the 10 largest races in the world.
Wow. Do you happen to know how many races around the nation there are?
There are 124 Race for the Cures around the country.
That's really awesome.
And we're in the top 10. So
that is really awesome.
Yeah.
I think we got another one here. All right.
That is our Circle of Hope, our year-end celebration where we bring our sponsors and our volunteers together. We recognize our volunteers, and we also introduce our grantees, because what we do with the money, 75% of the money that we raise goes to fund not-for-profit organizations. So we want the people who help us raise money to come and see what we've done with the money that we've raised.
Excellent. I believe we have one more here.
That is our Pink Ribbon Celebration. We just held that at the very end of September. That's a survivor celebration at the Ritz-Charles. We bring in we had a speaker there this year who made everybody laugh, made everybody cry. It was awesome. We have nearly 1,000 people at this event, and half of them are breast cancer survivors.
That's just amazing. Now, we're going to share, I'm going to ask you in a minute how our viewers can get involved with your organization. And of course, you have a website, but I'm going to make you a promise before that. Between now and the end of the month, on one of these programs, I will have on a pink tie. Okay?
Perfect.
I did not get a pink tie for today, but I will make sure that I get a pink tie in support for breast cancer.
Right.
How can our viewers volunteer to help?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's so many activities going on in October, so everybody can find something that meets their needs. From Panera Bagels to McAllister's Tea to White Castle Pink Ribbons to Sensu Restaurant to Ritter's. There's something for everyone. Wow. We're also asking people to stop talking and take action. If they haven't had their mammogram, get their mammogram. If they know somebody who hasn't had their mammogram, make sure they make an appointment and get it done. So check our website. We're updating it daily with all the different things that people can do to get involved. Everybody can make a difference. Even the little things that people do. Yoplait lids, 10 cents per lid, adds up to millions of dollars across the country.
So there's plenty of ways to be proactive. I'll make sure we put up your website and your contact information. And Dana, thank you so much for coming this morning and being our guest. We do understand we have 2 more guests this month from your organization, so we will be keeping track of Susan G. Komen. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Carol, now to you.
My guest tells us about his battle with prostate cancer when we return. My guest today is cancer survivor Bill Eldridge. Welcome to Religion in the News, Bill. Hi, we just wanted to have you on today. I know that this October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but you have such an amazing story of being what a lot of people call as a supernatural miracle from prostate cancer. So we wanted to have you on today to tell us your journey and your story of having cancer. Can you tell us when you were first diagnosed?
Back in, see, what year was it? It was in, back in the year 90, I think it's,
1995?
yeah, something like that, 1995. Then it got onto it. It was kind of small. Then my doctor said he would, when it get growing, getting worse, was going to take radiation for the cancer. So it got so and I went back. It was raised up. It was going up, and then it was went back. Next time it went up. And the third time went back, and he said it went up 3 points. He said it's time to take radiation. So went through the radiation. After I got through the radiation and everything, that doctor told me, said, well, the cancer is gone. I said, well, thank God about that.
Now, I know kind of the Reader's Digest version, but it was probably over 10 years ago when you first, I guess, went in for just a little bit of blood work and they first spotted it. And then he encouraged you to just watch it.
You know, I was taking blood work, and blood work wasn't turning out, was kind of cloudy. But my family doctor told me, well, she want me to go back and take blood work again. So I took blood work again. It was still cloudy like, and she couldn't figure it out. And well, I had to go back the third time and got the blood work, and it was cloudy again. Then she knew that then there's something serious and told me to go see this cancer doctor. So I went to see the cancer doctor, and then he come up with it, and he said I had a cancer, but it wasn't too serious, it was small. He said it's small, we'll wait until it larger, and when it gets larger, then he's going to put me through radiation.
And we have your little certificate here where you, I guess this was at St. Francis Hospital?
Yeah.
At the cancer, the Center for Prostate Cancer. And a lot of people don't get an award to hang on their wall that they survived cancer, but you were so phenomenal and your cancer was so serious that you went through it. What was the hardest part of what you went through?
The hardest part, I went through it is just, I was taking radiation for it. So. And
you got up and went every single day for how many weeks?
Well, for 8 weeks, I had to go in there for 5 days a week, and get Saturday and Sunday off, and go back next week, 5 days next week. Did that for 2 months.
Now, I know that you expressed to many people that you thought you might die. So you had...
Well, it got me down, that radiation did. I just give up. I wouldn't give a dime from so I thought the radiation was going to get me. But it turned out I went all through it and got all the radiation treatment. And then that doctor on here, he told me that radiation. And then he told me that cancer is gone, so the cancer just left me.
Well, I took an opportunity to interview some of your doctors and your pastor. I know you also had another formula. You went to the doctor, you did what the doctor said, but you said that you had another formula, and you got a lot of prayer and had a lot of response from people at your church.
Oh, yeah, had a lot of prayers, yeah.
Well, I called your pastor and asked him for a statement about your cancer, because so many people have cancer and they don't make it. So I interviewed him and asked him what his response was, and we have a statement. I'm just going to read it. Your pastor, Bill Jenkins of the Church of Acts, he stated, "God's thoughts are not our thoughts, and God's ways are higher than our ways. God extends his grace in ways we can't comprehend. We have to work in cooperation with God." He said, faith, filling ourselves with God, things of God, prayer, etc. But ultimately, it's up to God how he distributes that grace. Now, he couldn't be here with you today, but he wanted to send that statement. You said that you had prayer from hundreds of people?
Hundreds of people, yeah. Prayers for hundreds of them, yeah.
Okay. Well, Bill, you had an amazing story, an amazing miracle, and thank you so much for sharing your story. Back to you, Faith.
Thanks, Carol. Coming up next, my guest slogan is breast cancer, so what? It's okay to talk about it. You don't want to miss their stories on how they both survived the harmful but not always deadly disease. Next, when we return on Religion in the News.